Hello
Morning.
everyone and welcome to Ask the Expert, an award-winning daily series from 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. to help small businesses. Now, if you guys have any questions, then ask them in the comments or the live feed. So if you need any more advice, join the official Introvert QuickBooks SMB community group on Facebook. Accountants and business experts are on hand 24/7. Now, during this live session, we will be running a poll, so please do engage with it and I'll reveal the result at the end. So my name's Rebecca, this is Tommie, and we are the founders of Bambuu Brush. And today we are here to celebrate Earth Day, and with the theme Restore Our Earth for 2021. Now this year, QuickBooks highlights 19 customers who are doing their part to create a more sustainable future to celebrate Earth Day. And we're delighted to be one of the companies that are featured in their Instagram gift guide. And a link will be shared in the live feed. So if you can check out all the different companies and support them.
Amazing. So today we're going to run through a little bit of a background about everything that we're doing at Bambuu Brush, and then we're going to be taking some question and answers from you guys. So if you've got any questions, make sure you go online, write the questions on social media, and then we'll answer them at the end of the show. Okay, so a bit of a background around Bambuu Brush. This is actually our third time on the show, so you may have heard of us before. Yeah, myself and Rebecca, our background was essentially living around the world. For myself, I always wanted to be in teaching. I went to university, went into the education system, took a 3-month gap, whatever that would be, which ended up being the best part of about 7 years. For Rebecca?
Yeah, for myself, as soon as I finished school, I booked a one-way ticket. So my gap year actually turned into a gap decade. I had the privilege to live and work in Thailand and also live and work in Australia, and the privilege to travel the world. And yes, we saw some amazing things, but on the other hand, we also saw the negative impact that plastic pollution's had on our planet, and that's what's driven us to create Bambuu Brush.
Absolutely. So over that time living in Asia, we've just seen such a dramatic increase in the amount of plastic that was not only ending up in our oceans, but also in the environment, but also how that plastic was impacting everyday people in some of these lower socioeconomic regions of the planet, and especially in Asia, and that kind of drove us to everything that we're doing now. So we started to become a bit more focused around sustainability and the clients and the companies that we were working with. So essentially we were becoming sustainability consultants, but we wanted to create more of an impact on a personal and a professional level. So that's where we came up with this crazy idea of at Bambuu Brush, which was a product. We wanted a product in which everyone could make one simple change away from something plastic that they use in their everyday life to something more sustainable.
We wanted to relate to an everyday person. We looked into the facts, and over 3.6 billion plastic toothbrushes are purchased every single year. And after use, most of them end up in landfill or even worse, our oceans. So we knew we had to do something about it. We launched in 2019 with a crazy goal of #1 million by 2020. So we essentially wanted to inspire people to make a simple switch from a plastic toothbrush to a bamboo toothbrush.
And not just some people. #1 million by 2020 was a crazy goal. We wanted to educate and inspire 1 million people to make that switch from plastic to our Bambuu brushes. We also, going back to my teaching background, we developed a scheme of work, educational workshops that we deliver in primary schools and secondary schools, colleges and high schools. And we also organise big community cleanups. So, and a big mission for us right from the start was to set up simple recycling facilities in smaller developing communities where there's no waste management systems, there's no bin men to come and collect your waste. So plastic and waste is either discarded into the environment or it's just burnt. And then I guess fast forward 2 years, and we've kind of done a lot with our hashtag.
We hit our #1 million by 2020 target, which we are super thrilled to announce within 9 months of launching. We've educated over 1,500 school children worldwide.
Yeah, and on hitting our #1 million by 2020, we've stopped over 32,000 kilos of plastic toothbrushes entering commercial circulation, and we've currently sold around 1.6 million of these beautiful, simple bamboo toothbrushes,
Yes.
which we love. And we've also organised 24 big community cleanups. And thankfully, we've got our first one. It's today's Earth Day, and we've got our first one since COVID started this evening, which we're super excited about.
Super excited. And we launched a whole new product range. They're all inspired by the top 10 ocean polluters. We call them our purposeful products because they part fund our charity projects in the developing world.
Exactly. And that leads us on to our charity project. So I just quickly spoke about our mission, which was to set up simple recycling facilities in these developing communities. We have been very lucky to partner with probably easily the most inspirational group of people that we've ever met, and with a charity called Humanitas. We've actually become the new the environmental project directors for all of their projects that they have around the world. But alongside that, in February 2020, so last year, we launched our first charity project, which is Plastic Swap Shop. COVID's made us take a step back and do everything from the UK, but essentially we launched in February with our educational element of going into not going in, but Humanitas have got a high school in a rural community that they've been working in the community for about 7 years, and I don't even know how to explain the amount of waste that is generated by the community because there's no waste management system. So we work with Humanitas to deliver our educational workshops to give some sort of awareness on why plastic pollution is such a negative impact. And from that, we've spoken with the elders and the people within the village and the community, and they've also seen that impact firsthand by there's the quality in their yield of harvest is not as good because there's plastic that's degrading in the environment. Their waterways are getting blocked up by plastic, and that's where we're launching. Once the world opens up again, we have a place at the high school where we can utilise all of that plastic waste. So we can gather the plastic through the community, and we can turn that waste into products that are going to benefit the community. So that may be cutlery, bowls, plates, water containers, so people can collect water safely. So we have a big project happening, and this is going to be a blueprint to expand throughout the world. And essentially, our purposeful products that we have, which are all linked to the top 10 ocean polluters, part fund all of our amazing work that we're doing alongside Humanitas charity. So I guess that's a bit of a background about us. That was like full on, and I'm sure that's information overload. But we'd love to hear your questions. We genuinely believe in the power of one simple change. And I guess it's, in some respects, the simplicity of just a bamboo toothbrush and how we've stopped over 32,000 kilos of plastic entering commercial circulation by this small, simple product. Highlights there is a power of one simple change, and we do believe we all hold that power to change the world, starting with a simple change. So if you've got any questions, please head over to all of our social medias, check out all the work that we're super proud of.
From the day we launched, we wanted to use the power of social media in a positive way to create change, and we have done ever since. It's a great way to spread awareness.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to seeing your questions and answer anything. So please feel free to write in the comments any questions that you have.
And head over to social media. There's a lot going on, and we're really proud of it. But it's at Bambuu Brush.
Yeah, we named our company after our Instagram handle.
Yeah, we've got our school uniform on today. Okay, thanks for listening. And now we're going to take some of your questions.
Perfect. So we have a question from Ayush from Twitter. So I think it's fantastic that you're working to combat plastic pollution. To be honest, I think me and my family can make so many changes in our everyday life to contribute to change, as we currently are not doing much. Do you have any recommendations on small changes to make that still can make an impact? That is a great question, and we get asked that a lot.
Yeah, there's loads, and I think when we deliver our workshops, we always talk about there is so much online. So go and search online blogs that give you so many changes that you can do. For instance, changing to a shampoo bar, changing to toothpaste tablets, changing to a reusable water bottle, looking at the cleaning products that you use. There's so much, but a big thing that we always try to highlight is the fact of let's be honest, we're all on social media, so let's use social media in a positive way. Okay, that 100% of time on social media, instead of watching trivial stuff, let's try and educate ourselves. So maybe 50% of the time, go and look at educational accounts. There's so many out there all around the environment, just so we can all educate ourselves. I think sustainability in general is quite an overwhelming subject.
Very overwhelming. And that is why that's everything we're about with small changes. We want you to understand that if everybody makes one simple change, if you multiply that by millions, we are onto something. And have a notepad and write down everything that you do use every day. And there will be an alternative to what you're using. For example, a toothbrush, and then from a toothbrush, you'll use a coffee mug. From a coffee mug, you might use a water bottle. It's just being aware of your plastic consumption.
Yeah. And that's a great start, being aware of what you've got. And then we're all on a learning curve.
Yeah.
And let's all educate ourselves.
And also encourage other people, share it, spread awareness. We learn so much from other people, and do not be afraid to ask questions. That's what we've learned from the start. We've learned so much from asking questions and not being scared of that. But that's a great, great question.
Thank you for that question. Okay, on to the next question from Billy from Instagram. As a startup with a tight budget, we're not in a stage to give money to charity or environmental projects at the moment. Is there any other way we could contribute to a greener planet? Yes, everyone can. One aspect is looking at that question before, looking at your waste or your plastic content, or how much you utilize, because then you can make judgments on how you can become more environmentally friendly. But also cleanups, community cleanups, litter picks. As a business, as a startup, we see the benefit. Obviously, we're super biased, but about gathering the local community together to protect the environment and keep the local environment clean.
It's so inspiring as well, cleanups. Yeah. Not only do they protect the environment, you're protecting wildlife, you're inspiring others, you're inspiring other companies, you're inspiring your local government to install litter bins or even recycling facilities. There's so much good that comes out of cleanups, and to bring your work together, and it's a real good team building event. We've had so much fun, and people meet people there. It's a great activity. And
also there is a knock-on effect with cleanups. And just one example, we did a cleanup, this was pre-COVID, did a big cleanup, and probably about 50% of the waste we found out that we cleaned up was coming from one food takeaway shop in the town. So then that's kind of, in some respects, a lot of data that we can then go to that takeaway shop and say, look, is there a scheme that we can do, or change the packaging so you're not getting this waste? Because obviously this is detrimental for you because you've got your name littered all over the town. So, and in turn they have done. So there is such a bigger picture in organising cleanup. So
definitely.
Yeah, thank you for that, Billy.
You can use your platforms to share awareness, spread awareness from your own company as well.
Perfect. Okay, next question from Victoria on Facebook Messenger. Good morning. Good morning. What do you think business leaders can do to improve current perceptions around authenticity, ethics, and transparency? Wow, that's a great question. I guess there's a few avenues we can go down that. My first one, and I'm a massive advocate of this, is, I said it before earlier, I believe sustainability is so overwhelming. There are so many aspects to it. For instance, for us, we just do plastic pollution, okay? But then you've got the climate issue, you've then got carbon, you've then got soil erosion, water, the ocean, there's so much. So sustainability is so overwhelming, I think business leaders forget about the fundamental aspects and the fundamental educational learning of individuals, employees, whoever that may be. So education is massive, and it's the start of any sort of impact or change, is that educational aspect. There's no point telling all your employees, oh, we need to reach this point, if no one actually understands the benchmark or the actual impact that can be made. So education is just, I think, we deliver educational workshops to primary schools all the way through to big CEOs, corporations, corporates, and realistically, the presentations are not much different. The actual, all it would be that the 5-year-olds get a few more pictures of animals, and the CEOs get a few more facts that they can understand, and there's not much difference. So I think that educational aspect is huge, because people want to learn now. People really want to do their part for the planet. So yeah, that, I think, as an overarching answer to that question, just education, because it ticks off the authenticity, because from that people are transparent and people know that we're not experts. People know that we're all on this together to try and learn. And then the ethics side of it is, it all comes in together because we're on that pathway to learn. So I hope that answers the question.
That was a great question, Victoria. Thank you. Okay, we got a question from Catherine from Instagram. So what is your main focus with Bambuu Brush for the future? Great question. Great question.
Okay.
I guess you go with the goal first.
Yeah, so in short, our mission has always been to set up these simple, sustainable recycling facilities, and we've got one launched in Ghana. So the long-term goal in that sense is to sell more products, that we can then fund more charity projects in developing communities. So the one in Ghana will be a blueprint. So it's a 2-year project. After that 2 years, we will have a open source blueprint that we can then say, we can pick this model up and replicate it in other developing communities to make an impact. And it really does make an impact. It's I can talk for hours on this, but there is so much that needs to be done around waste management in communities that don't have any waste management at all. So that is kind of our long-term mission, essentially just to sell more products, to fund more of our projects that we can replicate, and then bring corporates and bring businesses involved in our projects. There's so much that can be, there's so much that can be done.
Side, for sure.
And the educational aspects.
Great question, though. Another question from Jemina. Hi, do you have any advice on how to educate employees on sustainability? My business is remote and staff has always worked from home. I often see plastic bottles on Zoom calls, but I don't want to call someone out. What I would like to do is influence them to make changes in their private life. That is a fantastic question. And I was talking to Tommie about this the other day because I was listening to a podcast, and the guy on there said exactly the same thing. And the best thing to do is never to call someone out on it. The best thing you could ever do is educate them first. We got to a point now where when I do see people drinking out of plastic water bottles, it does make me cringe. But the way to move forward isn't calling anyone out. No one is going to move forward if everyone's blaming everyone. If we can provide the education of why they should make a simple switch, that is how we're going to move forward. There's a lot of negativity in the world of sustainability, which we do have to see. We have to see these horrible photos, but for us to move forward, it's also good to balance it out with the positive work that's coming through. For example, this year's Earth Day is all about restoring the Earth, and it's all about the amazing emerging green technologies which are coming through, which is so exciting, and it's giving us there's definitely a green sustainable future ahead with this exciting technologies coming through.
And on that, Jemima, I think there is a lot of in the eco space, there is a lot of eco shaming is what we call it, where there's, in some respects, it's a bit judgmental, which we hate, and that's our our big thing for all of our products is one simple change. And we genuinely believe in one simple change. If we can educate someone and inspire someone to start that sustainable journey, suddenly your mind is open to a whole world of opportunities. So one thing, I don't want to plug our environmental workshops, but we deliver our plastic pollution and environmental workshops to businesses all over the country and all over the world. I mean, yesterday we delivered to, this is Intuit QuickBooks, but Intuit as the group, we delivered to the San Francisco office yesterday. So we do deliver our educational workshops, but you can do these. And I think it's a great team building exercise, but also it's a great awareness within a business to also assess how environmentally friendly and sustainably focused you are as a business. And then you can, from that, we can create an action plan of, okay, this is the benchmark, we want to get to here, what do we need to do? Okay, everyone in the office is going to cut out plastic water bottles. We're all gonna, or the employees are going to, the employer is gonna buy everyone a reusable water bottle, and then that ticks off that. So there's so much that can be done. It's just being open to it. And I think again goes back to the previous question. Education
and set goals within the team and work together to achieve those goals.
Massively.
Okay, Sharon from Instagram, great question by the way. Hi guys, what does the theme Restore the Planet for this year's Earth Day mean to you?
Wow, that is fantastic.
It's exciting. It's so exciting. There's so many natural processes and, like we said, emerging green technologies which are coming through, which is giving us all just so much strength. And the thought of, there is a lot of negativity in the world at the moment, but there is exciting technologies being used. Yeah,
I think what it means to us is that there's a couple of things that for us, for me personally, we need to be very open to technology. Although we are, although there is a lot of people in the eco world saying, let's go back to fully natural, fully 100% natural. And I agree. Obviously, we've got a bamboo company where this is 95%, 100% natural. But there are a lot of incredible technologies out there. For instance, I was for those of you on Clubhouse, I was on Clubhouse. I got last week, and I was discussing with a CEO of a mushroom company, and he said there is potential at the moment to create a liquid form of a mushroom in which can break down plastics and turn it into oxygen. So he was then thinking, well, we can just replicate this on a mass scale, pour this into the ocean, and then all of that ocean plastic will just get dissolved. Obviously, further that there needs to be a lot of R&D with that. But I mean, that's pretty exciting, pretty innovative world. So yeah, I think it's just a very exciting space. The restoration of the earth and what Earth Day is about is, again, and then this goes to the other side, is keeping everything simple. So there's two ways to look at it, is like really being open to the technology out there, but also keeping everything simple. I think sometimes things are very complex. Thank you, Sharon. Okay, moving on to the next one. Abri from Twitter, your project in Ghana sounds fantastic.
Thank you.
Is it possible for an individual to get involved? Yes. So a number of ways. First of all, by purchasing our products online, that will percentages of that will go directly to the project. Also, you can donate directly to the project itself. I'll hope we can, if you go onto our social media, there's links everywhere, but it's,
and also on our website.
On our website, yeah, bamboobrush.com. But also you can get to humanitascharity.org/bamboo project, and you can donate directly to the project. We also have, I don't know if we can say, but stuff it. In a couple of months, we'll be releasing some trips. Once we've got everything up and running in Ghana, we're going to start. We want to work with businesses and individuals to continue the amazing volunteer trips that Humanitas are doing already, but with a bit more of an environmental focus. So all of the amazing trips, we'll visit some pretty hard-hitting places around plastic, but then show the positive work that we're doing with the project. So yeah, so there's loads of ways you can get involved.
Lucy from Instagram, when are you doing cleanup meetups again? Well, we're actually organising one today to finish off Earth Day, which we're super excited for. That's going to be our first one, but you can always look out on our website. We're going to always put out dates of our next cleanups, and you can also take part virtually. Make sure you tag at Bambuu Brush, because again, we want to share and spread awareness that we can all go out and get out and pick up litter.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, so hopefully we'll be able to do one with Intuit at some point. But if you, the businesses that you guys work for, if you want to get in touch and get us to come and organise cleanups with you, we can do a whole campaign and project around that, which is really exciting and really, it's a great opportunity to get people involved and get people aware of the actual situation we're in on an environmental level.
Definitely.
So yeah, so just go and follow all of our work. We do actively push people to just go out and clean up yourself. All you need is a pair of gloves, a bin, go on your daily walk. Unfortunately, there's enough litter out there that we can all pick up quite a bit. So yeah, please just head over to our social medias and you'll see loads. We will plan to do some big cleanups once the world is back open. So yeah, it's exciting.
Keep your eyes
get
peeled.
involved. Okay, so that was Lucy, yours was the final question. So thank you all for your questions. Hopefully we answered them. If we haven't answered them, please get in touch with us on social media, however that may be, or email us. But yeah, thank you for those questions. Okay, so the poll. So we asked you guys, does your company provide sustainability and environmental training? Let's see the answers. 33% of you said yes, which is great, and 67% of you said no. Okay, so on that, I don't want to plug at all, but we think it's really important, again, going back to that educational aspect, for us to really create proper change and real impact. That education, that level of understanding around environmental issues really needs to be addressed. I think employers sometimes forget that people don't, your everyday person probably doesn't know what carbon tax is, or carbon emissions, or nanoplastics, or there's so many simple what's the word, like words that need to be addressed for people to have a good understanding. So
definitely
it's gone.
Yeah, and also don't wait for the people at the top of your business to organise something or address the matter. The issue can come from you, and you can organise, whether you wanted to organise a cleanup or whether you wanted to get in touch with us. We've had many people ask us, and we then approached the business at the top, and we've managed to organise something really special. So don't ever think that you have to wait for someone to organise. Exactly.
So we can, going back to everything around our messaging, one simple change, we all have the power to do something. I think sometimes roles block us, but we can all positively influence someone else, whether that is your friends, family, colleagues, manager, whoever that may be. So never underestimate your own power, I guess, in what we can do.
And talk about it.
Yeah.
And ask. Don't be afraid to ask.
Okay, guys, thank you very much for that. If you have any more questions, then please get in touch with QuickBooks support team. And if you want to get in contact with us, please give us a follow on our social media. We've got our school uniform on. So these are all our social media accounts at Bambuu Brush. And if you got any specific questions or you want to get in touch with us via email, my email is Tommie, Tommie, at bamboobrush.com. So yeah, please get in touch. Okay, coming up on Ask the Expert tomorrow is Katie Howe, who pioneered social media marketing, launching her social media agency, Immediate Future, 15 years ago, just as Facebook made its way onto university campuses. Wow. A reminder that if you need any more advice, join our official Intuit QuickBooks SMB community group on Facebook. Accountants and business experts are on hand 24/7. Okay, I think that is it. First of all, have a great, thank you for listening. And secondly, have a great
Earth Day
and get in touch.
Enjoy.
And go do your whatever that may be to educate and inspire yourself and others about our planet and our environment and how we need to protect it. Apart from that, have a great day. We'll catch up soon.
Happy Earth Day, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.